Let's start our session with paying homage to the Buddha. Let's fold our palms. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, today let's talk about how to apply Dhamma powers in crisis. Now everyone, we are undergoing a great challenge, the whole world. So at this moment, the Dhamma is particularly relevant to us because we have to face one of the most difficult challenges for a long time to come. Since a long time, since the Second World War, they say this is one of the biggest challenges since Second World War. It's more serious than the 2008 financial crisis. This time, we are going to face a difficult time. In fact, many of you might have have started to experience the difficulty already. Not only the lockdown, but also the risk which may happen to life and to our economic conditions, to the living. So at this time, what can we do? There are certain things we can do, and there are certain things we may not be able to do. For example, the external condition. When this crisis, this contagious disease will go away, this we can't say. We can only participate and contribute our part, but we can't say exactly when it will go away. So what can we do? So in this aspect, there are two things which we can try to do. If we can achieve, then we can say we have made the best out of the present situation. So the first thing is to endure, to get through, to last through this crisis. Then the second thing, to optimize, make the best out of the given situation that we are in. These are the two things. And it's exactly for these two things which is within our ability to do, to achieve. Other things we can't say. We can't say we want the whole world to change or whatever. Of course we can aspire, get more people to aspire together and pray and wish for together. That's good. That increases the group power. But eventually, the most important thing is ourselves. How can we endure it beautifully, nicely, peacefully? And how can we optimize this crisis? How can we do? So for these two things, our Dhamma is very helpful. Very, very helpful. Basically, there are two categories of big Dhamma. Two categories, which is very helpful. One is the wisdom category, how to apply the Dhamma. This is the wisdom part. Another one is emotional one. I will use compassion. In fact, it will include loving kindness, appreciative joy, etc. But I use the word compassion, particularly to represent the emotional group of wholesome Dhamma. So wisdom and compassion, we can use these two big group of Dhamma, wisdom and compassion, to help us to achieve these two things. The power to endure and the power to optimize. So how we should do it? First is the power of non-self. This is the most powerful thing. In any crisis, any difficulty, when our minds is challenge under challenge, we have to face pressure and difficulty. At that time, apply this non-self understanding and a kind of selflessness also. If we can apply this, we can get through the hard time so much better. And we can apply our wisdom so well if we can apply this. Okay, but this is a very profound. Different people will understand this quality, non-self, differently. Depends on the level of understanding of Dhamma and level of practice. The simplest one to say is when we have a non-self in our mind, understanding, bring to our mind the non-self understanding, whether by reflecting over non-self or by, for those practitioners who experience it, then bring up this experience of non-self again and again. Okay. So the simplest way of understanding it, not complete but simplest way of looking at it is like non-self will carry the quality like the space, like space. So if the mind we dwell in the understanding of non-self, our mind will equip itself with the quality of space. Look at space. You try to catch it, you can't catch space. You try to punch it, you can't punch space. You cannot get hurt because the Buddha said it doesn't establish anywhere. This is given in the Maha Rahulavada Sutta, in the text. When the Buddha advised Venerable Rahula, let the mind be like the space, learn from the space. Because the space doesn't establish itself anywhere. So if we put our mind down in space-like state, not to make the mind like space, no. You don't need to imagine the mind is like space, the body like space, no. Just cultivate or reflect upon the qualities of space, which doesn't establish itself anywhere. It doesn't crave on, it doesn't reject anything. There's no holding, grasping, and no rejecting. Because the quality of doesn't establish anywhere. Such a quality is very powerful. So, if you dwell in your mind like the space, even for a few minutes, you find peace settle into your mind so quickly. Let everything come. The mind which is like the space, don't go and fight. Just let everything come and go. This is the first quality before we want to achieve anything. Because it frees us from a lot of grasping, a lot of attachment, and a lot of impurities. The mind will be very resilient, very powerful, which can take any blows, any setbacks, and be unshaken. Space-like quality because of non-self. But of course, you can uplift your non-self understanding. Depends on how. It doesn't come overnight, but your daily practice, reflecting on the Dhamma, reading the Dhamma, and you do your practice of samatha and vipassana, especially vipassana, then the understanding of non-self get deepened. But at least you can start off with space-like quality, if non-self. Space, let the mind cultivate the quality like space, which neither crave nor reject, no wanting, no rejecting. Let whatever that comes and goes by themselves. So this will help. This is the first thing which will help us to be able to endure whatever difficulties, threats and risks and anxieties. We can let go. Then the second thing which will increase our power to endure is the art of living in the present moment. This is best summarized in the Bhattikarata Gatha in the Majjhima Nikaya. It says that don't Don't attach to past, future and present experiences, which is the past, future and present materiality, feeling, perception, mental formations and consciousness. Or the other way of putting it is, do not attach to, do not crave for the past, future and present experiences of the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. So in short, it means don't attach to any past, future and present experience. That's the meaning of living in the present moment. Don't crave. It doesn't mean you cannot reflect on the mistakes of the past as a history, as a lesson. No. It doesn't mean you cannot plan for your future. No. It doesn't mean that. It means you don't live by craving past, future and present experiences. So this is the art of living in the present moment. You always have a presence of mind. The mind is always pure. If you want to study history, you study history. You want to make a plan, you make a plan. You want to live moment to moment, day by day. That's very good. So this is the art of living in the present moment. You want to have a further understanding, read up the suttas, a few suttas about Bhaddikarata Gata, these Bhaddikarata suttas. You can read up in Majjhima Nikaya. This will give you further understanding how to apply the art of living in the present moment. But in simple terms, it means that try not to crave to any experience. Just live fully in the present moment. It also gives us some understanding about relevance. You don't waste time on what is irrelevant. The past is past. The future is not yet come. That's exactly given in the Bhaddikarata Gata. Do not cling to the past, do not cling to the future, because past has passed, future not yet come. And live fully in the present moment, wholeheartedly, ardently, fully, with full awareness, mindfulness, in the present moment. So even you may face big difficulty like your job or whatever, you may have to lose a job, your business may be affected, your debt may accumulate, whatever. But at least, certain things we have to deal. Later we will talk about how to optimize our resources to face it, to solve the problem properly. We still need to solve the problem. But before we solve it, first let us not be affected by it. Reduce the negative impact, emotional impact to us. Because that's the only way we can apply wisdom. If we cannot overcome the emotional problem caused by the crisis, which is actually caused by our internal weakness, then it is difficult. It's difficult to find a solution of it. So first, be unaffected. This is always the first rule before we want to overcome any difficulties. You want to surmount any difficulties. The first thing is always live in a balanced way, be able to put our mind in such a state which it can apply wisdom and compassion. And then it can apply other Dhamma powers. We are able to invoke other Dhamma powers in our life to solve problems. But first, be unaffected. Whatever outcome, whatever happened to us, be unaffected. So the art of living in the present moment is helpful. On top of the practice of non-self and reflecting, cultivate the quality of non-self, and then we live in the present moment. Be calm and peaceful, at peace with ourselves. Knowing that lives, bad things happen all the time. In fact, in the rounds of birth and death, the experiences of crisis is countless, uncountable. You cannot count enough. So what can we do? You just have to face it. In fact, in future, as long as you have not attained parinibbana, in future there are plenty of crises going to come. Never. Samsara is like that. This is the nature of samsara. So with that understanding, we make ourselves be at peace with ourselves, keep calm, and learn how to face it in the best way. So cultivate the qualities of non-self, cultivate the art of living in the present moment, then mindfulness. How to apply mindfulness? Basically, in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, it says be mindful of the body, feeling, mind, and mental objects. Again, it means almost everything. Almost everything is there. All our experiences of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, all can be included. So, if when you find anxious and difficulty, you can practice simple practice like just now we do the metta meditation. Just wish for your good for yourself and good for others. Good for the whole world. This will calm the mind. And for those who have practiced according to Satipatthana Sutta or Mahasatipatthana Sutta, I think many people have practiced this Anapanasati like Kayanupassana. And if you have practiced up to Vedana, Chitta, Dhamma, Nupassana, it's good, better still. So let's say, choose an example. In the Kayanupassana Satipatthana, the first chapter is talking about Anapanasati, Babang. So you look at it, breathing, for those who have practiced, but now we don't teach here. It takes some time to teach. So those who have practiced, if you can practice mindfulness on the breathing, so it keeps the mind calm and steady. Then after that, you can apply other dhammas to help you solve the problem. Then another thing is equanimity. Sometimes you feel upset or worked up because thinking that, oh, my beloved ones, so many friends are affected. Those people are affected. My countrymen are affected. So at that time, practice equanimity. This is one of the Brahma Vihara, the sublime abiding practice. So how to do? You can. The key is sabbe satta kamma sakka. All beings are owners of their karma. So whatever happens, we try to help, but at the same time, we are fully aware that they are the owner of their karma. We are the owner of our karma also. So it's just cause and effect. If it were to happen, it happened. But in the understanding of dependent origination, we don't lay back and say, well, everything is supposed to happen because of karma. No, we try to do something because what we are doing presently is new causes. That's also very important. But before we take that step, first let's be able to accept realities, happenings, come to terms with it, face it, accept it. That's very important. So this equanimity practice allows us to accept it with a peaceful mind that these things happen because of beings' karma. So some karma were to be exhausted. That's it. Okay. In this way, we reflect on the truth that all beings are the owners of their karma. Then we can keep our mind peaceful and equanimous. Then, for some people who have practiced higher, you can even, because of taking the ultimate realities of objects, or materiality and mentality, you can practice clear comprehension of non-delusion, asamoha sampajana. This is very wonderful. But anyway, that's a bit tough for beginners. So, but you can reflect on realities. That realities will give us a clear comprehension. I just briefly go through. For those who know, they will already know. But for those who want to learn, it will take some time. Then, this wisdom is very important. The wisdom of seeing things as they really are with insights. Yatha bhutang jnana dasanam. This is given by the Buddha in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the discourse on the turning of the Dhamma wheel. Seeing things as they really are. And for those who have practiced high level of wisdom and vipassana, you can see anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering, and non-self. And you can see a lot of realities, dependent origination arising and passing away. So that will give us strengthen the mind to be able to endure, to face up with difficulties. Whether the problem gets solved or not, we can take it well. But for those who have difficulty, then this wisdom we can apply, this principle we can actually apply, or you call it methodology, you can apply in various levels. You can practice a very high level of wisdom, vipassana insight, and you can also apply just on a very day-to-day basis. Like, I try to see things as they really are. If you try to see things as they really are, at least you can easily understand, not to say very high knowledge, you just can easily understand what are the relevant things and what are irrelevant. What can we do about this? If we can see this simple, if I cannot do anything about it, take it. If I can do something about it, do it. Why worry? Why anxiety? Anxiety never helps. So these are things, we try to see things, what is there in front of us, what are the difficulties, what are the possibilities, what I can do about it, what I can't do about it. So this will bring us to another power, the power to optimize. You see, the first rule is always the power to endure. If we can't endure, it's very difficult. When our mind gets worked up, full of anxieties, it's all in a mess. How are we going to do something to optimize? Not possible. It's very difficult. You want to help ourselves, also very difficult, because the mind is all in a mess, all so distraught. So first, you always cultivate the power to endure with what we just talked about it, the non-self, space-like mind qualities, the art of living in the present moment, mindfulness practice. Of course, if you have concentration, wisdom practice, good. Then equanimity, then a great compassion of non-delusion. Okay, seeing things as they really are. So this helps us the ability to let go. Even just this one thing, live in the present moment. This helps us a lot about letting go. We can let go. Then we can move on. Once our mind is calm and pure and peaceful, then that is the time we are able, we have the ability to use our wisdom, to use our EQ, our emotional intelligence, our love, our compassion. So positive qualities we need, not only the more quiet energy to take it and just accept it and bear up. This is one. But the ability to work out something, to make the best of a given situation. This is the power to optimize. So for that, we cultivate a few things. First, emotional intelligence. These are modern terms. But in the Buddhism, we say the sublime abidings, loving kindness, like just now we did, loving kindness meditation. That was a simple one. You can do a more extensive way if you would like. But even the simple one helps a lot. Then compassion, because you are seeing a lot of suffering. So compassion, the object is suffering and causes of suffering. This can be our object. So when we see people do bad things, have compassion for them. They are doing the bad things. When people are suffering, the result of their karma, we have compassion for them. So this then give us a very powerful mind. Of course, when we can actually elevate people's suffering, we should do something about it. We should not just say, I wish all the best to you and don't do anything. When we can do, we do. But when we can't do, at least our mind have the good qualities. Not stone-hearted. We have a loving heart, soft heart towards others and wish they be free from suffering and may they be free from the evils, the causes of suffering. Then of course, the appreciative joy, mudita, if you practice this. So these metta, karuna, mudita, these are very good qualities. When we want to do something for others, this is very important. Love actually is part of love. Different aspect of love. Then we love others. Okay? Actually, in times, in difficult times, love is most powerful. The genuine love, selfless love, pure love. We call loving kindness, we call it compassion, we call it appreciative joy. This is supported by equanimity. These kind of emotions, positive emotion, bright emotion, unshakable emotions, indestructible. You cannot destroy a pure love, a love, good compassion. You cannot destroy such quality. Only the impure one, like you have a sympathy, you're attached to the object, attached to people, then you cannot afford to see people suffer and you feel so painful, when the beloved one suffer. That is not so. That is not, we don't call that under EQ. The real EQ is the pure loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, supported by equanimity. Okay? Then again, the three clear comprehension. Just now we talked about clear comprehension, non-delusion. For those who have practiced, who are able to practice that, that's very good. That makes your mind very resilient, very able to take whatever shocks and pressure. But this clear comprehension of purpose, suitability, and domain, it gives us the ability to execute something, to apply our mental power, our internal power and external power efficiently. The first is Sattaka Sampajana, clear comprehension of purpose. You always remember what you are going to do. Of course, for the Buddhists, we always say the most important thing is Four Noble Truths, the liberation, getting the overcoming of suffering. Yes, but in the worldly aspect, it means like you just need to be purposeful, be clearly, don't waste your time on useless things. For example, grumble. Grumble is not purposeful. It is wasting the energy, bringing our mind more down and causing the listeners of us more down emotionally. After you talk about it, you feel all the energy get depleted and weak. That is not having clear comprehension of purpose. So when we have clear comprehension of purpose, we don't deviate. We want to solve problem. When we study problem, we actually want to solve problem. You see, the Buddha didn't teach only the first noble truth of suffering, not only the noble truth of original suffering. No, the Buddha also teaches about the cessation of suffering, which is our goal and our hope, and the path leading to the cessation of suffering, which is our method, what we can do to solve it. So if we have clear comprehension of purpose, we want to solve problem, we want to live better, we want to overcome suffering. So with that, we don't squander our precious mental energy on useless things. No, useless things that are irrelevant. We should work on what are relevant, what we can change to make a difference. These things are relevant. What we cannot do anything about it, if it's beyond our ability to make a change, to make a difference, all those things are irrelevant. A spilled milk is irrelevant to us. What is relevant is how to clean it up. That's relevant. But it's already spilled on the ground. You can't recover a spilled milk. So it is irrelevant. So that's very important. Okay? So clear comprehension of purpose, then clear comprehension of suitability. Is it suitable? And I do like this, is it suitable? When I grumble, is it suitable? No. It is not suitable, it won't help. So work on what is helpful. So if you think like that, what are the suitable conditions can make things better? Suitable conditions. Okay, Sappaya Sampajana. Of course, in the spiritual way aspect, we actually means the things which facilitate our journey to realize Four Noble Truths. But in this aspect, you can try to apply, even in the worldly sense. The principle is the same, even though Sappaya Sampajana, as precisely it actually means those things which are helpful for our liberation. But you can apply this principle in our daily life context, secular life context. Then domain, that means you don't deviate from your meditation object. So in this case, don't deviate from the task at hand. So we apply the similar principle to the training given in the clear comprehension training. Okay. So with that, then another thing which is helpful for us to optimize when we want to optimize our action, whether it's action or inaction, we want to optimize to produce the best result. Then this understanding of dependent origination is very, very crucial to us. In simple terms, it means things happen because of conditions and things vanish because of conditions. Success happens because of conditions of success, conducive for success, and failure or suffering happens because of the conditions facilitating suffering or failure. Accumulate and comes together. They come together. So with this understanding, we will develop a very good and very wholesome attitude in facing, in doing something about it. This is like, things are, there's no self there. You cannot command even our materiality, our feeling, our perception, our mental formation, and our consciousness. Our materiality and mentality, we cannot just force it. No. You cannot. In order to do something, even just to be mindful, you need to train up. So this is like, we can do something, make a change by putting in right input, right conditions. That is the way to, we Buddhists try to make a change in our life. That's what we are trying to do. But not by brute force and by craving I want this result. No, we work very hard. We sincerely put in our right input, right effort to make a change. But we don't crave, because the moment we have a strong craving, we are motivated by craving, then the cause is not pure. But if we are motivated with compassion, motivated with good aspiration, then that is a pure motivation. So in the Abhidhamma terms, it means like chanda and lobha. Chanda, you can have a very pure, wholesome desire to do something. It is good. But if you have an impure desire, it's actually the mental states. In Abhidhamma, we call lobha, greed. So try not to be motivated by greed. Try to be motivated by the right cause, compassion, aspiration, which is the right input. So this dependent origination understanding, of course, is very profound. We just try to apply, try to touch on some simple principle of it. It means put in the right condition. Don't put in wrong condition in our life. Don't. Right condition. Put in right input. That's very important. Then try to apply, copy from the Buddha, the methodology of Four Noble Truths. You see, the Buddha always first identify suffering, the Noble Truth of suffering, which actually equivalent to saying that we need to understand our problem at hand. Then the origin of suffering, which actually equivalent to say that you need to know the causes of a problem. Then there's the cessation of suffering. We should have confidence that things will go away. Eventually all this will come and pass. Okay? But with the right effort, we can make them pass better, in a better way. Okay? Pass on to a better result. So this is so we have hope. You feel hopeful, don't feel despair. Hope. Then the path leading to the cessation of suffering, which actually means like, you know your goal, and you need to know what are the causes conducive for the materialization of the goal, the achievement, the fulfillment. So you work on the causes. So in this way, the mind will not be negative, only problem-minded. The mind which has a spirit of Four Noble Truths, the mind actually will be solution-minded as well. Of course, we need to face a problem, but we should pay more attention. Once we understand the problem well, we should pay more attention to solution, what we can do about it. So this is very important. This empower us to optimize the present situation. In the Chinese language, crisis means wei ji. Wei is danger, crisis, but ji is actually opportunity. So if you understand that, which is very good, I think the Chinese word is very good, Wei Ji is very good. So crisis it's only not only that, it comes with opportunity as well. There are a lot of things. Look at it, what we can do about it. After the whole bad things happen, then we actually, there are certain good, bad karma get exhausted. If we pass through this state very well, endure it very well, surely we accumulate good causes while we are enduring. We accumulate good causes. When these things come to pass, we will rise up very well. So again, this wisdom, seeing things as they really are, with insights. This is also very helpful, because ask ourselves, in any situation, in any crisis, what can we do? What is possible? What is not possible? What are possible? What are impossible? Work on the possible. Work on the relevant. So this will give us the power. Then we will know. Once we know the causes for right result, then naturally we know what to do, how to work on the causes. So this is it. So as a conclusion, it boils down to two things. You see, when we say the power to endure and power to optimize, in all our discussion, there are two big groups of mind qualities. One is wisdom and one is compassion. One is the wisdom, rational part. One is the emotional part. So both are important. We need to take care of our emotion well, and we also need to allow our mind to be in a state wherein we can apply our wisdom. We can apply our strength, our courage, our faith qualities, and our ability to solve problems, to come out from all this difficulty. So these two categories, emotional part, which love and compassion, and the wisdom part, the non-self, seeing things as they really are, and living in the present moment. These are all comes under the wisdom part. So as a conclusion, when we want to apply Dhamma powers in this difficult time, in crisis, we want to achieve using the Dhamma to give us the ability to endure and to optimize. These are the qualities. Let's recapitulate. To power to endure, cultivate non-self, reflect on the qualities of space, so to develop the space-like quality, which is doesn't establish itself anywhere. It's very free and open and spacious. Then the art of living in the present moment, work on the present moment. Then practice mindfulness in your daily life. Then concentration on wisdom as well. And equanimity, knowing that beings are the owner of their karma. So be able to come to terms and accept whatever that happened. And for those who can go one step further, apply clear comprehension of non-delusion, asamwa sampajana, and see things as they really are with insights. Always try to understand things as they really are, not superficially, deeply. Then after that, when the mind is in a position to apply wisdom, then practice, try to invoke the power of Dhamma to optimize. Then remember, cultivate good EQ, loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy. Let the mind not be shaken by happenings. Then again, clear compassion of purpose, whether it's suitable, whatever we do, fitting the purpose, our purpose or not. Suitability, whether it's a suitable conditions for our purpose. And domain, what I supposed to do. Don't get distracted. Be focused on what we're supposed to do continuously until it bears fruits. And work on the relevant part. Don't waste the mental energy on the irrelevant things. And also know that the mechanism, the science which enable us to make a change in our life is actually dependent on origination. Things happen because of conditions only. So we work on the right conditions for the good things to materialize, and we try to remove, pull away any of the wrong conditions, conditions for bad happenings. Try to remove that, the defilements, the impurities, the wrong approach. Then always try to understand the problem and the causes, and have confidence that things eventually this can be overcome, and work on the causes. What we can do, be solution minded, and see things as they really are with insights. Know what is possible, work on what is possible. Know what are impossible, don't waste our time on the impossible. So eventually with that, we can apply the wisdom group and the emotional compassion group and love others. So with that, we should be able to get through this crisis with Dhamma powers. Of course, we can do a lot of aspirations, prayer. These are all good. Not to say share marriage to the devas, to the guardians. These are all good. A lot of wholesome things are good. Do a lot of wholesome things. A lot of wholesome things. Do change, make a change of our karma. Do a lot of wholesome works. So with that, let me wish all of you have a good experience, good Dhamma practice during this crisis, this difficult time, and use the time to the best of your ability, and may the world be free from this suffering as soon as possible. May all be well, happy, healthy, and peaceful. So let's share memories, recite together. May aspiration, first aspiration, may this condition be supporting for my overcoming of causes of suffering, and be a supporting condition for the realization of Nibbana, and we share this merits with equally with all beings. Yedang me punyang asawa kaya wahang hotu, yedang me punyang nibbana sapacayo hotu, mama punya bagang sabba sattanang bhajemi, te sabe me samang punya bagang labantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.